A Greater Boston starts with taking care of our veterans, and a local nature walk is helping vets find peace and gratitude in their lives. Levan is out live this morning in Plymouth to walk the Grace Trail in honor of Veterans Day, Lev.
It's been fantastic all morning long, Brianna, as we get a chance to walk this Grace Trail and talk to its creator, Jolles. And first and foremost, why did you start the trail?
Well, Levan, I was struggling in my life when my son was in Afghanistan, and I needed a way to cope. And I had been playing with this whole concept of grace and the 5 questions and the 5 words for a number of years, and I decided to help myself cope and help others cope, that I would take the 5 words in the grace process and the 5 questions, and I'd put them outside on an inspirational trail so that I could walk it and talk it with others and invite others to come.
So you have 5 stones that are here. We're at C right now. We're at G, R, and A for people to kind of ponder in their thoughts. When you're doing this, did you know that people were going to come through and say, hey, this is what I need to think about. This is how I need to kind of reflect on what's going on in my life?
Well, at that point I did, because I had discovered the whole grace process earlier in my life and had used it quite a bit in my life coaching practice, and people really loved it. But until I put it on the trail and people could actually see it on a map, and you get to gratitude and you ask, what am I grateful for, as you're walking to the next stone, which would be release. What do I need to release? You ask the question and you answer it as you're walking to the next stone on this trail, and you get to acceptance, and you say to yourself, you know, what do I need to accept in life? Some of these questions are not that easy to answer, and you answer it as you're walking to the next stone, which happens to be challenge.
I've got to ask you this, as the mother of a veteran, what was it like, as we honor veterans on this day, to watch your son leave and then watch your son come back, to go through all of that?
Right, well, it was horrible, that's all. And what was equally as horrible was the whole presence that I could see him on Facebook, and I could see images of what he was going through. I found that horrible. So I really stumbled, and, you know, really, I just struggled during that time. And, you know, he was one of the fortunate ones to make it back. So the acceptance piece, the challenge piece, all of these questions, embracing the possibility, all worked its magic on me every day as I asked the 5 questions, got my own answers, found my footing, and could work my way out of those feelings. Yeah,
we're lucky enough to have John here. John's a veteran, and John, I've got to ask you, when you get a chance to kind of not walk the trail, but to know what the trail stands for, what does it mean to have a trail like this where veterans are being honored?
It's very moving. I find myself running into a number of other veterans. I was a lieutenant during the Vietnam period. I live right here as well, which makes it pretty convenient. But the message that Ann articulated very clearly is very moving for veterans and non-veterans. And I'm very appreciative of its presence, and I think there's a real message for veterans here, certainly.
And I will say this, we talk about Greater Boston, but Greater Plymouth has done such a great job in making sure that this gets done as well.
Oh, Plymouth has done a great job embracing grace. From the moment I put this trail in, I expected a cease and desist. I never got it. All I got from Plymouth was this wonderful feeling of gratitude, and people told people about it, and more people walked it. And when I went to the town of Plymouth in August with this idea of taking the small stones that I had handwritten and replacing them with these 300-pound boulders, they were like, yeah, it's a great idea, let's do it. And they put this trail in all the way from the very top of Plymouth down to the people who actually installed the stones. It's been this wonderful cooperative feeling, and I think that they must have heard from lots of people how popular Grace Trail was and how much it meant to so many.
How long is the trail, by the way?
The trail is from about a half a mile from one end, so when you do it a loop, it's a 1-mile trail. And
I will say this, Brianna, we're at C, which is, what is my next challenge? My next challenge is to make sure that I get out on time. So I'm going to throw it back to you right now so I don't get yelled at. But I think everybody's next challenge is that the next day is going to be better than the last. So back to you, Brianna.
Oh, Lev, I love the work she's doing, making everyone a little bit of a better person. And the Grace Trail is beautiful. I've walked it many, many times. So thank her for creating it.